Okay. Last one of the updates. Screw the watchdogs. It got blocked here. This Russian language. I fucking hate watchdogs for this. Well, not the game itself, but Ubisoft. Well, let's go to the transistor and inspect some functions.
You got on the Cambrada shortlist. More than just a name to them now.
Subject ranked into % club by contemporary performer. Artist 5 years. Demonstrating interesting music. Despite I'm not going to give you the time to read it because, well, I guess you can pause the video. You can't pause the video here because it scrolls. That's kind of a conundrum. Ah, what the hell, let's just read it. So, you know, it's going to be a long, boring video where I just read stuff. Interrupted in the crowd. During one of her performances. It was the first such incident in 4 years. Where administrators were summoned to the scene, as one of the suspects was banned from the premise. He accused Red of being an instigator and a provocator. She fully understood the potent effect had music on people. She cited exerting precautions toward the point of content, receding from the spotlight to compose new material for her privacy. Rumors swirled, and one day she finally re-emerged, trouble following. Crowd dispersed after one of her performances. They had reason to believe that she would be alone, rehearsing said new material, but she was not alone. The press of Transistor Extra6 and Cambrada plans for the night. Huh. So she didn't just take the transistor. The ownership on the transistor got transferred to her, while her voice got transferred into the transistor. Weird. Well, just quick details. User rate. Yeah, I just used it in passive to gain damage resistance. I don't know why. Like damage resistance upgrades. Well, let's just crash this back. Let's go to the second one. Inspect function.
You've reached the hopefully not permanent address of Mr. Nobody.
Huh. Mr. Nobody. Subject background data corrupted due to integration. Recovered data indicates subject has no selections or record. There is a remote possibility that this information is inaccurate due to data corruption. The information is valid. Subject by definition can be matched with Stenson data. 0% of cloudbank will include shows that selection. Size of coincidence with timestamp of previous authenticated user relinquishing access and control. I think this is important, but we don't know who the previous user was. Or at least I don't know. So details, use rate, of course I use it in active slot, and sometimes in passive slot upgrades. I don't know, range, just raises the range and it has 3 slots. I don't use it. Yeah, I guess people use it more in active slot than to gain more playing potential in turning. But you know, sometimes playing potential turn could be your uprising. And here's the stuff to pause on. Next.
Lillian Platt used to run the OVC. Said she left for personal reasons.
Lillian Platt. I think that's like the first soul we've come across, and she's got killed by process. To be elected as chairwoman of the OVC brought under her leadership the number of OVC terminal gallblank more than doubled, and the quality of orchestration, and so she is like responsible for terminals and stuff. She tendered the resignation in less than 2 years to pursue an extra interest. Position so indicated that Miss Platt left following the sudden disappearance of a close personal friend, Mr. Maximilian Darcy, who according to the official decided one day to move to the country. The country is actually the insides of the transistor, and it strongly suggests that to move to the country you die. Well, you don't actually die, I guess, in this digital world, you just move somewhere. Listen fresh. I'm crap at reading this out loud, so excuse me. I'm just reading it for myself, I guess. I don't know why I even have those comments here. Weird. It says that Miss Platt has been missing for 2 weeks, but we saw her remains, so I don't know what to make of it. Details. I'm not using Spark. Unstable shells that split into explosive particles. Oh, it has 60 base damage. Maybe Sparks would be a better way. Nah, Bounce is still cool. Yeah, no one uses like Sparks in passive because I don't know. It isn't nearly cool enough. I just use it in upgrades more. There we go. Some stuff here. Jaunt. Inspect.
Preston Moyle. Guess he went out joyriding one night and never came back.
So a subject actually knows Preston. Because you know when he comes to Lilith Platt, he talks to her as he's seen her for the first time, but he's like Mr. Moyle. I don't know. Racing circuit. Oh, so he's a motorbike builder and a racer celebrity. So maybe, well, a mysterious subject knew him because he was a celebrity, but nah, I can't say for certain. Oh, so that's the bike we're using. It was actually constructed by Mr. Moyle. Huh. Well, weird, so he was racer who also disappeared. Because he gets sucked into the transistor. And of course people use it in active because it allows them to jump. And I use it in passive because it allows me to turn better. Upgrade if you want it. Bounce.
It's Nyla. Everybody said she split after Goldwalk Channel opened up.
Huh. Pass an ordinance, improve underground regions, research it out, and educate. I can get through. Oh. So she got kidnapped by Cambrata. Once again, I don't know what Cambrata's plan actually was. Since they sucked a lot of people into Transistor and they attempted to suck Red, but the incident left Red the owner of the Transistor, and so began the downfall of the entire city. Oh, okay. Details. People don't seem to use bounce that often. Base damage 100. It's more than Spark, to be sure. And it has 5 jumps. Yeah, they seem to use it in upgrade slot, but upgrading bounce, I don't know. Yeah, it has a chain reaction to their favorite, Beam. But bounce itself is, as you can see, bounce itself is an upgrading switch is just overpowered on regular enemies. Switch. Yeah, the most overpowered thing in the entire game, I suppose. Not here. Here.
Nobody changed the sky like Yondale. Why her?
Sky painter. The occasional forever changing sky might hurt a bit. Yeah, I guess here I can like vote for the color of the sky. So there was a painter who painted something in the sky. This was when her art became a liability. Huh. Interesting, actually. Stop fucking playing Watch Dogs. It might be a good game, but what Ubisoft did with it here is just ridiculous. I just sold my copy and got this Transistor game. And Blight Symphony for it. Huh. Nice. So she like tried to express her artistic side but got shut down by bureaucracy. And then got kidnapped by Cambrata. I never used it in active. Well, maybe once or twice. I used it in upgrade a lot, like 70. Yeah, that's like my primary. Switch, 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 and people seem to agree to me, but yeah.
Sybil Rise. Life of the party. She was bad news from the first.
So we come to the first of Cambrata. Miss Rise met Red. Oh, so Miss Rise observed the aloofness of one of our companions. To rectify this. One night nominated as a target. Huh. Really cool. So, actually, the Cambrata came after Red because of Miss Rise, who somehow got. Well, where is it? Infatuated. Huh. And then she met Companion. So maybe the Cambrata didn't actually need Red. It was like all her fault and she got processed in the end. 55%. Yeah, I use dog a lot. I guess people agree dog is good. 75 base damage. New active kill. I didn't actually demonstrate super user like once. Yeah, basically I have an action of kill which completes your entire turn gauge and deals 500 damage to a target. It's not as good. It's like a combination of Void and Cal can be. So I ended up not using it.
Shawsberg was out of control. Thought the admins put him away.
Oh. Huh. So he was like a daring street artist. Glider. We didn't actually get a glider in the game, but yeah. Really? Really? So I don't know, the Cambrata, we're supposed to use a transistor, some kind of device to spawn like a copies of people or something, I don't know. People basically disappear and Cambrata like disappears people who are useful to the cause of controlling the populi. Because you know they're influential, but what can I do from the inside of the transistor? I guess you can make them talk like our mysterious man talks to Red because you know people know them. Well, still weird. Yeah, people should love Mask in active slot. It's just such a cool way to wait out, you know, recharging. So I don't know. And I guess they used an upgrade. Actually, yeah, I can do like double damage with backstab and it only costs one, so why not? I've never done it. Ping.
Enter Highrise went to the country. Precinct did a press conference and everything.
Enter Highford. Detective. In the 18th present. So we live in the 18th present. Or I guess, the transistor events occur in the 18th, maybe 19th. Professional cloud banks. Why Central Administration quietly decided to take down the northwest edge of Goldwalk. Huh. Now we have a clue. So there's like Goldwalk, which is, I guess, lower class citizens district, and Highrise, which is upper class. Really? Really? Okay, ping. Of course, people use it in upgrades, mostly because it allows for more of this action to be during the turn. Okay, and upgrades. If you want some of them.
They got that loudmouth 10 again. Figured he retired.
Huh. Wave 10 again. Sounds familiar. Somehow. So he's a broadcaster. Huh. Okay, so they got some broadcaster. I don't know. Once again, compact story Cambrata just kidnaps a bunch of people. Let's see upgrades. Oh, he's allowed. Yeah. I'm not very keen on using it in either active or passive slots, so you know it goes to upgrades most of the times. Yeah. In active you're supposed to like plant it and then explode it, and it just takes more preparation than I can bear. And in passive it just leaves random packets from where you stand, so you know. Most of the times you have something better to do.
Max Darcy gave up Fashion Week to get caught up in all this.
Oh, Darcy. He was the friend of Lilith. Of Lillian. Wait. Yeah, there is. Lillian Platt. So he was the friend. Huh. Dependencies. Are they talking about drugs? Yeah, I guess they are. You know, because what digital drugs would look like, I don't know. Okay, the Cambrata got him as well for some reason. Right, let's see. 1-3 inactive because it's not that good inactive. Upgrade maybe damage over time. You know, if you get nothing that will increase your damage, this will also increase the damage of your attack. And I sometimes I guess I use more than ever on in passive. I think I'd used it early on and just discarded it, using it upgrade sometimes as upgrade sometimes or the other. Oh wait, fuck it. Yeah, here you go. Purge with upgrades. Cool. Maybe purge plus tap would be good.
Asher Kendrill, seen as byline on the OVC, covering up the Cambrada's tracks. Doing a good job.
Okay, so we come to the actual members of Cambrata. Because Sybil, I don't know. Sybil just... You meet her, she's already processed, then you kill her and go to Cambrada. Obviously, like, I think it's news. Because, you know, obviously, always gets news in those terminals, so. Administrator. So I guess the administrator was Grant. Okay, so he was like writer for the news that got on the Cambrada's thing. It stacks 3 times. Yes? Yes, but if you install bounce on it, you can only use it once. You can only use it twice. Does he not double in the efficiency? I suppose. Or you can just try avoiding before you use a turn. I don't know. People don't use avoid often in actives because, well, it isn't very effective against like multiples of targets. I don't think so. I used it in upgrades a lot to get a damage. So yeah, those two just gives you better damage for your functions. But it costs a lot to do so, so yeah. There we go.
Omar, that's the Hammer's quarter filter. What they want with him?
This is a boring video, isn't it? I'm just sitting there reading for myself and stop playing Watch Dogs. It's disgusting. Reckless play. Huh. He was considering retirement. Comfortable arrangement, of course. Okay, still weird, so the kinda kidnapped him just because. Really weird. So user rating. Didn't he skull too often because it's very costly it's playing course and you can't chain it properly. So it's mostly, is a good finisher. I've never actually installed it as an upgrade, but it still like shows me use rate 8% as an upgrade. Why is that? Maybe I did so without thinking once. And harms target on contacts. It's like 4 bars and harms target on contact, so you're gonna run around and just harm a bunch of people. And here's an upgrade for this.
Grant Kendrill's the man behind the Cambrata, without a doubt. Beats being an admin.
Huh. Oh. So there's like some kind of administrators that are in control. And they don't... Where is it? Well, they interview as little as possible. Publics be held to their consequences through the time warner system. And he decided to, I guess, change the government. Huh. When everything changes, nothing changes. Weird. Okay. I use heal and upgrade because it provides dog heal. And dog heal is like the best thing you can come up with dog. So if you're gonna be using dog in active slot, just place a heal on it. And people like 332, real bad. Sure, if you use it as active, it doesn't do that much. You see like lifesteal 1%, so you need to chain it. And maybe do it like over time. I never actually use jump plus tap, so you know, every time you teleport around, you actually tap people.
Brackett. I know the name, but not the man. Heard he got out of town a while back.
Huh. Function delivered from contact with subject. And this. And this. And this. And this. And this. I have never actually seen this, but function delivered from contact. I guess I need to watch the video and see if, you know, it does change somewhere. Oh, those are repeats, by the way. So yeah, we only have to go. And stop playing Watch Dogs, just please. Watch Dogs is bad for your health and sanity. Just the product of his efforts. So how the structures of Cloudbank formed. So yeah, this is the man that kind of discovered slash created the transistor. So because he was so good at engineering, he could like predict what people would want like in a solid enough times, but his idea was too extremes and didn't get much popularity. Also, you know, people's will came in cycles. Huh. Well, let's see his details. I never fucking use flood. 60 per second lifespan. So 60 on 4, it's 200. Maybe if you can crash the subject or get him in place, then you can use this. I don't know, I don't really use Vlad. In passive life regain when it turns, I use turns too much to regain life. Like this. And also, I guess I used it in upgrades because I like to install Flood and Mask, so you know when I masked up, can just run around and create a damaging field instead of just running around without any. Let's see the last one.
Bailey Gilland worked admin up in Highrise. That's a lot of privileged info.
Huh? Really? I guess you're supposed to get the max damage. Oh, so if you put more distance behind you, then you get. I see. I used upgrades sometimes, I don't know. Maybe if you use it on breach, but breach costs a lot, so if you avoid breach and cow, for example, it's 4, 8, 12 already, 13. Yeah, it's kinda costly to do so, but maybe you can do so. And of course, if you have nothing better to do, then just throw it in passive slot. Then of course, if you have cells that are protected, then you're kinda screwed because get wouldn't do anything for them. Well, it's not all actually. We have limiters, which is still active for some weird reason. Just deactivate them. They're stupid. So bad cells. Bad cells have low HP, but at high levels they have protective shield, so I have to kill them twice. And they're actually very annoying because you have a lot of them sometimes, and their attack is. Yeah, their attack hurts, they move around a lot, so you wouldn't be able to kill them without, like, using a turn. Vulnerabilities on armored shrink. Okay, so bad cells spoil. Okay, inspect. Jerk. Jerks Maybe jerks were supposed to be like really damaging, and on level 3 they get a tethering beam that pulls you towards them and then they jerk you around. But if you have switch, then jerks becomes useless. You can damage them all you want and then switch them at the end of the turn and wait for the next turn. Just switch them and they would jerk around your enemies. Okay, so you have no vulnerabilities. Inspect. Abundance. Young lady, wait. Efficiency. Oh. That's the limiters. Young lady. What can I say about young ladies? You can't multi-hit them. So, if you use a turn, you just can hit them once and then they teleport. Thus, if with them you just don't use turns, you just switch them, then switch them, then switch them, and so on. Weed. Immobile, cannot self-restore. Weed can self-restore? Weird. So Weed is actually a very easy enemy to deal with, because they just damage you if you get too close to them. But the problem is that they heal other people, so you have to deal with them. Once again, I don't think they can heal you if you switch them. Or maybe they can. I just didn't encounter such. But once again, you just kill them and go on your merry way. Oh, and it's Royce who studies them. Because Royce is deeply connected to the process. Cheerleader. Cheerleaders are the primary target for you to switch. Because, if you use bounce to switch a cheerleader and stand next to it, it will protect you for 5 seconds. You don't even have to mask up. Of course, there are situations when, people can destroy the cheerleader that's protecting you, or it will protect some other friendly unit outside than you, but yeah, it works. And of course, cheerleaders are very, 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 very annoying to deal with, because they protect other people, so you have to destroy the cheerleader first. And at level 3 then can protect themselves. Huh. Okay, Okay, so we had our cheerleader. What was that? Weed. Clucker. Cluckers. I'd say they can be annoying because they will fire at you only at long distances, so sometimes they'll just fire at you when you don't see them. Huh. Like an explorer, far-sighted. And yeah, and allows really good disruption system that, you don't step in even if you have your turn turned in. Really, really weird. So once again, you either, hang near them, or just destroy them. They sometimes can be the reason you use Chaunt. Otherwise, you use turn to get from their line of fire. Creep. So, level 3 creeper can actually destroy you. You can see it in one of my videos. It like took... Oh, well, it has send limiters activated, but it took me down from like full HP to nothing in a matter of seconds. Plus they have a tether beam that just pulled them towards them. So creeps are actually one of the targets to switch because, they just come and kill other things for you if you switch them. That's why I like switch. You just make people kill each other and do nothing. Snapshot. Snapshots are designed to annoy you rather than kill you, but they actually have really good lasers that deals a lot of damage if you don't avoid it. Huh. Exposed cell. So maybe you deal greater damage on backstab on them. I never knew that. Snapshots do annoy you because, if you have some snapshots, then in turn you just don't see them in the field and this becomes really hectic. Fetch. Fetches will going to haunt your freaking life at the beginning of the game at least. Because, they just clock up, later models will clock up and just go to you and bark at you and bark at you and bark at you unless you turn to get away from them or kill them. And this is the primary reason I'm using Switch in my battles. Because, if the fetch comes after you, just switch him and he goes and barks someone else's things. Otherwise, he'll just continue to harass you until you die. That's why I don't like them. Huh. ineffective at range. Screw you. Man, mine's going to haunt your life forever. Because, if you don't kill them immediately or just switch them or do something to get away from them, they spawn these bombs that, well, if not insta-kill you, then leave you with little bit of health. And it's just one bomb and they spawn them constantly, and a lot of them are stealthy, so he spawns bombs and goes into mask mode, where you can't damage him. This is fucking ridiculous. Oh, so he implemented the limiters, you see, against the processes, so those things actually... Yeah, I guess they're linked to cities, and if you... Oh, so they actually have some kind of plot to them. So this is... I don't know, I guess this is it. I mean, we've seen all the functions, we've seen all the limiters, so we can overload them. For whatever reason. Okay, this is the most boring video I've ever recorded. See ya.